What is up, my people, my peoples that love and feel like I do? Let me start this off by saying don't let anyone dim your light. We are in a wild time in our world, and you need to live your life the way you want to live it. It's so important. I'm going through it now. I've given a lot of my life to people, and I've worked very hard, and I need to do what I want to do. And you should do what you want to do because it's your life. And times are too stressful not to feel good. They want us stressed. They want us stressed. Big problems. Every issues. Every day I try to wake up and I try to feel more grateful. Like I have an amazing life, and I have to always just surround myself with the best vibes. Even though when I get mad and I lash out at things, that's me calling out bullshit and hypocrisy because that's my job. My job is to ruffle feathers because if a comedian, or I hate that label, if a person that does what I do doesn't do that, then we are failing you, the person who's working hard. If you go to a job and you have some crazy ass hard life and you come and you watch this comedy special and you're not being challenged in your thoughts or your beliefs, then the comedian isn't doing his job. That's what we have to do. And so it's uncomfortable at times for us. It's painful, but when we deliver something that we believe and the feeling is reciprocated, that's the best thing. Like, that's why I do this. That's why I talk into the ether, because there's people that really like me that may not in my life or my personal, growing up. And, I definitely always felt I wasn't totally understood by my family. So that's one of the reasons I went out in the world. That's 100%. There's definite sets I don't feel like I was, understood on. That's why I continue to do comedy. And there's different relationships that I didn't feel appreciated in, so that's why I parted ways. And at the end of the day, I think a real comedian, is a loner. Yes, it's. Don't let anyone dim your light. You must always be positive and be who you are. Don't live for your parents. People say, "Oh, my parents." I have to listen to my parents. You know, a lot of times your parents operate from a place of fear, and your parents had the iPhone 4 and you're the iPhone 12. Like, a child should outdo their parents. That's what successful parenting is, that you raise your child to become better than you. But I see society and parents scold their kids, or teachers and girlfriends. They like scold their man because their beliefs, or jobs because they want. It just bums me out. It just really does bum me out. So don't let anyone dim your light. Be who you are. And it's true. Manifestation is so true. I'm telling you, it's so true. Like, it can happen if you really surround yourself by things that you want, and because you just be doing it, and it's an actual science to it. Okay, so I have a little bit of a rant. As I've gotten older, I'm much more I don't want to say conspiracyist, because I hate that people say that. I think conspiracy theory should be the new N word. I know it's that's funny. It's a good joke actually, but it's not as painful as that. But I'm just saying, when you say that awful word, it's just dehumanizing. And I'm not saying that conspiracy theory is as bad as that. But it's basically just saying don't look into anything, just accept. And that's what we cannot do as a human race. We must always look into things. And, this eclipse everybody was talking. Like, I get mad when we had all this stuff happen during the old vid, and then all the people that said all this shit they did, and then when we found out that the other shit wasn't bad and it worked, and then they were like, no one ever said, I was wrong, oh my god, I made a mistake. No, they're just getting unearthed and busted all the time and found out and exposed, but no one's apologizing. So many Hollywood actors that said all this shit about people that didn't want to get the Pokerino, none of them have said, yeah, maybe I was wrong. So I hold them accountable. But now I'm going to hold the truthers, the conspiracies, whatever we are, group accountable. Because all you people that, here's what's annoying. It's not that certain things didn't happen. It's that you don't go, yeah, I was wrong. You're just as bad as these people that you think are mad liberals. Okay? That's the number one thing. If you have an L, take your L, man. And like we had this big we had the big eclipse, right? And so portals were supposed to be opening and locusts are coming and the world was going to change and CERN was opening up another dimension and NASA was firing a demon rocket and the world was never going to be the same and Jesus was coming. Forget Jesus, which would be the end-all, be-all, but like I'd be like the one. Just let me see a couple frogs fall out of the sky or something. Like you, not this shit was. I mean, unless we move to another dimension, this shit was so calm and so peaceful. And people are like, don't look at it, you'll turn to stone. And my dumb ass believes this shit. I believe this shit. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gullible because I know some of it is not going to happen, but some of it I'm like, that could happen. There's some weird stuff like the rocket being named, whatever that was named, that was like similar to the demon and CERN doing that thing. There was a lot of weird coincidences. But when nothing happened, I got the Christian people like Nicole going, he will come. He's risen. Lady, shut up. Just admit it didn't happen. Or Trump's pulling the fucking strings behind the case. It will happen. Please just say, okay, maybe I'm off. Like, I have like so many people going, it's going to happen. Okay. But it's not. So it gets me depressed because it doesn't get me depressed. It doesn't happen. It gets me depressed that you become like the libs that you don't like. And you're like, well, you have to go, okay, I was wrong. The rapture didn't fucking happen. And so then you could put me back into dummy land, which I can't really go back because I know too much now, but still I can just go back to entertainer land. Although so much has been exposed, how can we turn our back on it now? Like, it's just the darkest shit is coming to light, and it's like, how can we ever? I see more signs for stop human trafficking than I ever have. Children too, in Vegas at the airport. I see them at the Atlanta airport. I see them at the Charlotte airport. Like, it's just good. The awareness is there, so it's like we can't go back to our innocence. Our innocence is lost. So this is crazy. I have this one here, and
8th, 1971, in Greeley, Colorado. Her birth name was Phyllis Amanda Peterson. She's known for being an actress. She was a natural beauty whose smile lit up the room. She started acting at age 7 in the stage production of The Sound of Music. She was in over 50 TV commercials. When she was 11, she got a small role in the 1982 musical called Annie. She beat out 8,000 other girls who auditioned for that part. She was in several TV shows, including Silver Spoons and Doogie Howser, MD. Her breakthrough role was in the 1987 movie called Can't Buy Me Love. She continued acting in movies and TV shows until 1994 when she decided to leave the entertainment business. She was sexually assaulted at age 15 and didn't tell anyone for a long time. People who knew her noticed a change in her. She started using drugs. She was married twice and had 2 children. Her life spiraled out of control and she was arrested 5 times for assault, harassment, DUI, possession of drug paraphernalia, and suspicion of distributing a Schedule II controlled substance. She died in 2015 from a morphine overdose. She was 43 years old.
You know, when you see people and you say, oh, Hollywood's rough from them. They were a child actor. They were, they lived fast, died young. I mean, no, that's not the case. A lot of them are victims. I remember Amanda. I didn't know her, but when I moved to LA, she was the biggest thing. She was younger than me. She was like 2 years younger than me. She's so beautiful. She was like Elizabeth Shue, the second coming of Elizabeth Shue. She's so beautiful, so sweet, so cute, so funny. She was in Can't Buy Me Love with McDreamy. And a bunch of other movies. Fuck, man. That hit me. It's just sad. Look at the pictures of her when she was young, how beautiful and innocent she was. And someone raped her and took it. And look how hard and it's just the pain that people go through. And then they're like, oh, they're on drugs. No, they're not on drugs because they're druggies. They're on drugs to cope. They're on drugs to cope. They're so fucking pained. How many people do you think are like that? Anyone you see on drugs in Hollywood that was a star, you always ask yourself, why are they on drugs now? I don't want you to judge them. I want you to ask them. That girl is the epitome of innocence. Innocence, cute, beauty. Comes to town. She's got stars in her eyes. And then fucking hell happens. That's just sad, man. The Nickelodeon documentary I gotta see. All this Diddy shit. It's just fucking terrible, man. This is what turns me off about the business. Turns me off. Turning me off. Like, why isn't she the face of Me Too? You know, why don't they play her picture at the Oscars instead of wearing a black band? Because it's too real. So, all right. So another thing is, you know, that ship hit Baltimore, and everybody was saying, "Oh man, all the pilot, the captain was messed up. He lost control." No, they're saying that the ship was taken over. The power went out, and it was being controlled. Well, then I don't know if you saw in Oklahoma 2 days later, another ship hit the same buttress of another bridge, but that bridge did not go down. The way the Baltimore bridge went down was so insane. I mean, it's such a huge bridge, but that ship was so huge. It just folded like origami. And now there's this one, which is, it says a massive container ship loses power near NYC's Verrazano Bridge days after the Baltimore Keys. So basically, that's what I grew up by. I grew up by the Verrazano Bridge from Philly to New Jersey, or New York to New Jersey. I'm not sure, but I used to cross it a lot. And this ship, they're saying lost power. And they're saying the Baltimore one, if you look at it, the lights go on, the lights go off, the lights go on. I mean, a ship. You know, not even the backup generator had to come on, and then that lost power. So the theory is that they're being hacked. They're being hacked. I mean, this is as scary as the day is long. Like, if that's happening, this is terrorism. If they're being hacked. So it's scary. Like, it's freaky, man. Like, that is freaky. This is a new form of terrorism, and their argument is that if you take out the bridges, if you look at the Baltimore Bridge, they said that canal is going to be screwed up for 2 years, and it's a huge canal. And they also say that port's owned by China. It's all wild. They don't want China to we don't want TikTok because China has it, but yet China owns that port. You know what I mean? Like, if you would take out people's infrastructure, you take out people. Again, am I a conspiracy theorist? 3 bridges, ships losing power? That's just freaky. Okay, I got a little bit of everything here. Tell me if you think this is weird.
Blessed is he who reads aloud the words of the prophecy, and blessed are those who hear, and who keep what is written therein, for the time is near. He is coming with the clouds, and every eye will see him, everyone who pierced him, and all the tribes of the earth will wail on account of him. Those of you who have not learned what some call the deep things of Satan.
Oh my God.
I know your works. I know your toil and your patience.
Oh my God. Like, come on. I know I've been talking about Satan lately like an old lady, but it's not me. It's them. Like, just ask yourself this. Have you ever seen so much Satan stuff in your life? So is every artist trolling us? am I such a nerd that I'm like, ooh, thinking? Like, I was part of the thing where I listened to Back in Black, AC/DC. You know, I listened to Shout at the Devil, which probably was training me then. So I listened to that as a kid, and I was like, shut up, old ladies. Well, now I'm 53, and I'm like, Taylor Swift had a weird-ass witch ritual, Madonna, Doja Cat, Sam Smith. The list goes on and on. And they're not even, like, docking. Like, I'm not worried about docking. It's these other pop stars that were just normal pop stars who are now, like, what is that? Can someone explain what that is? Here's why it's so wild. Tell me if you think I'm a freak. Like, none of this stuff has ever been so much in the open, or maybe my eyes are just more open. Or maybe we see everything. I don't know. I don't remember Madonna ever. She's evolved as an artist, and she's one of the best ever to do it. She's completely changed her MO, but now her MO is a Satanist. Like, it's weird. She used to be so fun and sexy, but, like, she says Satan. So here's why it's hard for people to understand and hard for me, but it's really not for me. But I believe what I believe. If you really understand what this is, and if as it's written, this is true, that the revelation of the process is that by talking about it, saying what you're going to do, is literally the fuse that lights the firecracker. Like, that is what sets it off, by giving it power, by selling, hey, I'm going to steal $100 from you. And then people are like, what? And then you steal it. And then they're like, don't realize that you did it because you said it to them. They're not used to that. So that's what, this could just be art, which is art is such a vague way to, like, oh, I'm taking pictures of kids. It's art. Oh, I'm, eating goat's blood. It's art. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I have a $50 million painting. Well, the money's from a Dirty Arms deal. It's art. Like, what? Art is so arbitrary. I don't know. Madonna's got enough money for the rest of the world. She's had tons of marriages. I know, as an entertainer, there's nothing else that's going to give her joy unless she's in front of it. Or she can swim, I guess, or play tennis. But it's like she's doing what she loves. She's still a global dominant performer, and she's still relevant. But 40 years later, 45 years later, 42 years later, 42 years later, Madonna's still relevant. That's incredible. But I don't know, man. That's just weird. How can you not think that's not normal?
This is from July 2023. Watch this video.
It's Deepfake Friday, and we're talking to an innovative company that can replicate any human's face, voice, and personality through an algorithmic process in a matter of minutes. Don't believe me? Well, I'm not real. I'm a Brian Sullivan digital double, created by a startup called Brask, using images and video of the real Brian to compile what's called a mask. I'm being replicated by a stand-in actor to read this monologue, and then my appearance and voice is changed using artificial intelligence. So now that I've got your attention, let's send it back to the real Brian Sullivan as we dive deeper into this revolutionary technology.
What's going to be real? What is going to be real? It's so scary out there. It's really wild. It's really wild. That's just nothing. I have so many AI things I want to go through with you, because it's so incredible. But I just think it's just kind of exponential. How can I explain to people that really don't understand what exponential is? Exponential is double. So if I play golf with you and I said, hey, let's play golf, every hole we're going to bet. But we're going to start at 25 cents a hole, and every hole will double it. Do you know what you're getting into when you say that bet? 25 cents on the first hole, 50 the second hole, $1 the third hole, $2 the fourth hole, $4 the fifth hole, $8 the sixth hole, $16 the seventh hole, $32 the eighth hole, $64 the ninth hole, $128 the 10th hole. It goes to... By the end of it, you're at like $4,000 for the last hole. More. You might be at $18,000. I don't know. It's insane. That's exponential. Something so innocent that overwhelms very quickly. And there's so much with this AI I've been seeing. Songs, music business is done. So done. Doesn't mean you're not going to be able to make human-created music, but AI is going to. Yeah. Like, subscribe, enjoy. Peace.